You might think of Adam Schefter, Ian Rappoport breaking news. It's neither of those guys. It's J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt just announced that Zach Ertz is being released.
What?
By the Arizona Cardinals.
Who reported it?
J.J.
What?
So J.J. Watt is saying that Zach Ertz is out. He's been granted his release, and now he is a free agent. Now, guys, I know a lot of people are thinking a lot of things, and Zach, I'll start with you. There is going to be rumblings about where he should go.
Definitely. So pretty much he stated he wants to go to a contender. And it's weird. When you look at the top of the NFL, two teams really stick out as contenders with tight end issues, the Baltimore Ravens, and then Zach Ertz, former home for most of his career, the Philadelphia Eagles. So I really think it comes down to both of those teams. The way I see it is if the Ravens want Zach Ertz to be a Raven, they're going to need to pick him off waivers, because I don't see him hitting the open market and turning down Philadelphia if they want him.
No.
It just feels like a reunion right there.
Yeah.
Rock, Brad.
Look, the Ravens would be great if we could just kind of get him for the remainder of the season. I put a poll up for our folks who are watching. It's actually split 50-50 between Ravens, Eagles right now. I thought maybe Jaguars could also be a potential landing spot, that, playoff contender, of course. And so if there was like a dark horse team that was going to pick up Zach Ertz, I actually think the Jaguars are a pretty favorable spot for him.
That's exactly what Jeremy Fowler put out. He said the Jaguars would fit Zach Ertz's desire to play for a contender and offer familiar faces in head coach Doug Peterson, offensive coordinator Press Taylor, but tight end Everett Ingram's 7.5 targets per game. That's his highest clip since his rookie year in 2017. So Ertz, he wants to sign with a contender. I think the two contenders right now in the AFC, it's the Ravens. In the NFC, it's the Eagles. And those are two teams that the Eagles don't necessarily need a tight end, but the Ravens with Mark Andrews going down, a veteran presence would help their two young tight ends, second year, Isaiah Likely and Charlie Kohler.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of feels that a reunion with Philly seems like the perfect feel good, and I like what the Ravens have, but you can't argue a guy that's been around, that's has a pedigree of making big catches and understanding the game. This isn't going to happen, but what about the Dolphins? Like, do we think the Dolphins have any need for that? Their offense seems way too spread. It feels like Ertz has a certain system. Obviously, we know Kansas City doesn't need another tight end.
Well, so, okay, that was the team I was going to bring up, because they don't need another tight end. But what other like the state of their offense, can they deny the opportunity to get another weapon for Patrick Mahomes? Because it's not like Zach Ertz entering the Chiefs, I guess, receiver tight end room, I think would put him up there probably top 3 for their weapons, at least in the receiving game. Do I think it happens? No, but that's a team that if it did, I could see Andy Reid and them also keeping him away from the Ravens. I mean, we saw this in 2019. Terrell Suggs gets released by the Cardinals around the same time, says, I want to go play for a contender. Everyone and their mother is like, oh, Baltimore. He's going back to Baltimore. Chiefs come in and swoop him up.
And that's how it works. So there's a game in that. There's a game within a game. I just don't know if it fully makes sense on that front. It just, I can't get my mind off of that it's going to be the Eagles. But Baltimore would be interesting. And can we just talk about this for a second? I love Zach Ertz, but it's not like he's prime Zach Ertz anymore.
No.
So, like, what would a team, in your guys' opinion, like Rock, what would your expectation be?
For Zach Ertz?
Yeah.
Come in, be a blocking tight end, catch a few passes when you can. Don't be the guy, because he's, at this point in his career, he's not the guy anymore. If he goes to a team, he wants to win a ring. He wants to be on a contender, or at least compete for a Super Bowl. So go in there, play your role. You're at the tail end of your career. And that's not a knock on Zach Ertz at all, but it's facts. He is. He's not the Pro Bowl Zach Ertz caliber guy that he was back when he played with the Eagles. So go in, do your thing. He seems like a team-first guy. Help a team out. catch a few touchdown passes if you can, but be like a security blanket for a quarterback that needs it, where
Bingo.
you don't have to be. Yeah, exactly. So the Jags, that's why you brought up the fit. Like Evan Ingram's catching all these passes right now for them. He's one of their best weapons offensively. It's like Zach Ertz can be the other guy.
Yeah.
Where if you're in trouble, you can throw to him as well.
I think so too. And actually, in the poll that I put here on YouTube, I also put 49ers as an option. I know George Kittle's over there too, but
don't do it.
Could be.
That
it's not like they would say no to that.
Yeah, if any team could figure out how to perfect the 2 tight end, just with all they have, it would be the 49ers.
Yeah.
If you guys are Eric DeCosta, are you picking up the phone and just having a conversation with Zach Ertz? Are you even
absolutely?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's like, I'm not trying to ask a stupid question here, but that's security blanket we talked about. Like,
sure.
What's Lamar Jackson missing when Mark Andrews goes down? It's a security blanket. Now, I want to give Isaiah Likely a chance. I think he could be very solid in a dominant role in year 2, being the guy, because when Mark Andrews went down last year, Isaiah Likely had a pretty solid rookie season. So I do want to see what Isaiah Likely is capable of. I don't want it to be a thing where you're taking reps away from him, but the Ravens are competing for a Super Bowl right now. So if Zach Ertz can truly help them win, and they feel like Zach Ertz can help them win, I think Eric DeCosta is easily going to pick up the phone and at least have that conversation.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there.
I'm not saying he's coming here, but
I think where you hit it there is, Likely, even against the Chargers, he showed his playmaking ability. He showed why the Ravens like him so much. And you would love to get him these reps and for him to continue to grow. But as you said, the Ravens are competing for a Super Bowl. So if Eric DeCosta feels like Zach Ertz in any sort of way helps this team on that journey, I think he makes an attempt at least to get it done, because what's the biggest thing they're missing with Mark Andrews? The check down guy, the guy who will sit in the soft zone across the middle, find the soft spot, get open, and is right there for the 10-yard completion. OBJ and Rashad Bateman really started to do it, I guess, take over against the Chargers doing that, but I would love to have a Zach Ertz to do that as well.
Yeah, I mean, just like, I think EDC, he does his homework. He looks it over. No one's going to be more prepared to look at the team and go, is this going to be a fit? Right? I think for all the people that give all the hate to any executive, but especially Eric DeCosta, look what he's done, by the way. Talking about homework, Kyle Van Noy, Jadeveon Clowney, bringing guys in that fit. If he thinks he fits, they're going to try to do it. But then the other part of it is, does Zach Ertz think? I think he'd fit in Baltimore, but he's got a lot of brotherly love. That's me being corny as hell. But he's got a lot of brotherly love back in Philly.